Hi, welcome back to the Light Side podcast. It's been a while. I decided to come back and have a free flow conversation about where I am in life, and I hope meeting you where you are as well. I haven't been posting, and recently I saw that there's so many listeners on the Light Side podcast, even though it's been technically dormant. To be honest, I'm thrilled that you chose to listen to my episodes, and I low key cringe every time I hear myself, but to know that people are listening just means so much. And so I figured it was time to come back and share some thoughts. And what I want to talk about today, I hope meets you where you are. The past few months, I've been in this in between place, and it's been unfortunate to see that over 100,000 people also in tech have lost jobs over the past couple months or so. And I figure there are a lot of people in this in between space, whether you are deciding to move or you're changing jobs or you've been forced to change jobs or maybe relationships ending or losing someone. It could be anything like feeling burnout, whatever it might be. I think being in this in between space is filled with so much uncertainty. And I think the biggest constant is the unknown. Being in an in between space is when one chapter of your life, one version of your life has ended and the next one hasn't necessarily appeared yet, or you're waiting for it. And I think keyword waiting should probably be removed from the context of this conversation because life is a constant, time is an illusion. There's only the here and now. And so, learning in this earth school to be focused on the present moment is, I think, one of the biggest lessons of being in this in between space and something I'm learning myself. I just want to share with you guys what I've been experiencing and learning, and also what kind of mindset shifts and thoughts I've had. So that's really the purpose of this episode. It's not scripted or planned or structured. I decided, you know what, let's just go in, have a free flow in between conversation. And that itself is the lesson. Instead of overthinking the past or fearing what might happen in the future, just meeting the present moment for what it is what the biggest lesson of this in between is, and learning to let go of perfection and just meeting the present moment. Whether that meets your expectations of where your life should be or not is out of question. I think it's more so just accepting that this is where your life is. And I think that is one of the most powerful ways of transforming your life, is just accepting it and just meeting the present moment for what is, and following your nudges and following those instincts that you have to take action, and not listening to that voice like, but what will this person think, or what will my friends think if I do this? Remembering that you're living your life for you. The toughest part is the uncertainty, right? It's like we're always waiting to land. While that is a great place to be too, there's just so much to experience, feel, and see in the present moment, and where those nudges are taking you, whether that's trying a new skill or doing something different. It's, what is this pause in my career, in my situation? What is it teaching me? What am I afraid of? And what's the best case scenario? Overthinking the best case scenario is the best thing we can do for ourselves. But these are the things that I've been grappling with. For me, it's been tough, but it's also been really, really beautiful. It's teaching us acceptance. It's teaching us how to be. We're human beings, not human doings. And so, can I be in this moment and experience this time in my life where I am not, let's say, productive at a job? Does that determine how good I feel about myself? And if so, then I have some work to do, right? Productivity should never equal our worth. And I think what I've learned is that despite all the work I've done and all of the mindset shifts I have, I catch myself when I'm journaling sometimes, realizing that if I'm productive, I tie that to how good I feel. And I think that life being a school, as Eckhart Tolle and many other great philosophers and thought leaders talk about, we are in this life school, and experiences, situations, people, events will happen for us to learn the lessons that we're meant to learn in this lifetime. And it's meant to be fun and joyful and an experience of growth, right? But sometimes we feel pain, and that's also part of our human experience. And so feeling sad, disappointed, obviously that's all very normal. But when you're actually experiencing it, disappointment, despair, shock, frustration, sadness, it's normal to feel unlike yourself. Right? It's like you question your self-worth and it's like, what's wrong with me? Or what did I do? It's just very common for us to blame ourselves for things that can sometimes just be utterly out of our control. So over 100,000 well-qualified people in the tech world alone were impacted by layoffs this year. And that's a lot of people who are in the job market applying for the same, let's say, 1,000 jobs that are open. Every applicant is going through these processes that are not only rigorous, but you don't know who you are up against and interviewing for roles. So it's very easy to go down this spiral of self-doubt, self-questioning your self-worth. And as someone who is career-oriented, I put a lot of heart and soul into the work I do. I understand how it feels to have grief about your career. And every month that goes by, it's like this looming disappointment of why is this the case? And to be honest, I have been selective. There were 2 opportunities that I didn't accept, and I've learned a lesson because you can't predict the future. And one of the things that I've learned starting over in my career in my mid-30s is that we have to learn to be comfortable in accepting what is and in knowing that the point of life is experiencing it, not predicting it. And I couldn't have known what the outcome of what happened was, and no one could. I think it's just that it served a purpose. It taught me a huge lesson. I just have to trust the bigger picture. It's always been that things have turned out better when one chapter closed and you go through this in between place where you don't know what's going to happen, but you make the best of that in between time. And by doing so, what's next arrives. And when I reflect back on chapters of my life where I was in an in between place, I think that the biggest differentiator that changed and allowed momentum to come in, and sometimes we just need to take a pause, right? Other times we need to see how can I still enjoy this moment, like taking a step back. How can I make the best of this? So if life is presenting you with this moment of a pause, I just want to invite you to think about it as like a blessing in disguise for you to take a step back and think about how you can add even more joy, even more pleasure and fun into your life. Secondly, it's just like considering how much life works in your favor versus thinking about it as how unfortunate you are. I do trust, I have to trust, and I have to believe that the right fit is going to work out for me. And I really do believe that. What I do think makes a huge difference is what we're doing in this in between time. And for me, that's meant writing. Writing is a huge channel for me in terms of revelation. I have a lot of breakthroughs through writing. It's such a beautiful gift. I think it depends on every one of us has our own channels, but if you haven't yet, I highly suggest writing in the mornings when you wake up. There's just so much that you can download from your higher self. It just comes through on paper. So I highly suggest doing that. It's also been seeing my frustrated self. It's like in this time period, I've had many disappointed, frustrated days where I cry and I let my emotions out because it just feels really hard and unfair. But then I take a step back and I consider the broader picture of my life and how thankful I am. I recently got engaged. I'm super happy. Actually, tomorrow will be 2 months that we got engaged, and my fiance proposed on Nowruz Eve. I'm Persian, and We celebrate spring equinox as the first day of the new year. It's been such a wonderful, incredible new year for me, despite everything else. In the broader scheme of things, I want to remember that in this period of my life, there are only so many years of our lives where all the people that you love and adore, like my parents, who I'm extremely grateful for. And my heart goes out to anyone who is mourning the loss of their parents or anyone in their life. It's tough. Of course, I've lost my grandparents and other people whom I love, but that immediate family, the fact that they're alive and healthy, that brings so much joy to me. And every day when I write what I'm grateful for, I'm so fortunate to have my family. It's not about what I do, it's who I am. And who I am feels very grateful. There's just so much potential in every single day for us to recreate our lives. Actually, that's the shift. Now in 2026, where is it that I want to see my life go? How do I want the next 5 to 10 years of my life to pan out? And just leaning into that and envisioning and seeing what action you can take, because the world has become so accessible. Historically, Garrett and I were talking about this past weekend how previously education was not as accessible to everyone because of the cost. And now the way people learn things have changed, and you can pick up a quick certification or course and learn something in a pretty good amount of detail. And you can take other courses and get up to speed. I've been taking a Python course, and obviously I know that AI can code, right? And vibe coding is a huge thing, and anybody can just in simple English now code things, because that space of creativity is no longer gate kept. And that is so phenomenal. But if you have an idea, you can literally go on .ai, CLAUD.ai, and ask Claude to work with you on building. What you prompt is what your output will be. And so I also got my certification in AI this past few months because I've been trying to see how can I up-level my skills. So I got 2 certifications, and one in my field of program management and another in AI. And I'm studying Python while I continue to apply to jobs, view and such. It's been so expansive to consider how the world is shifting. And so it's all about what we choose. Do we want it to be doom and gloom, or do we want it to be optimistic? This doesn't have to play like a sci-fi movie where robots take over our lives and we're all out of jobs and we're starving. The world is so abundant. The universe is beautiful. And for me, I believe in God, and God is great. And I choose to believe that this next generation and these next 100 years are only going to elevate the human race and our capabilities. And so I choose to overthink the best case scenario. And maybe I should do an episode just on that. Overthink the best case scenario, because that's the energy of excitement. That's the energy of peace and joy and feeling good. And when your energy matches that, then that next stage of your life, which is waiting to come in, that embodies that peace and joy and love, can enter your life. The point of life is experiencing it, not predicting it. Life is a mirror. And so if you give to life good feelings, you're going to get good back. If you're going to give it fear and anxiety and stress and worry, then that's what's going to come back to you. So allowing ourselves to release our obsession with certainty, how can we shift into this place of having faith and belief and obsessing over the best case scenario instead? So if you're going to overthink, can you overthink the best case scenario? And instead of trying to predict outcomes, just revel and enjoy the moment, the process. Come back and see life for what it is, like trees growing, how they go from sprouts to full blown bright green leaves. I'm obsessed with spring, honestly, and remembering to detach your worth from productivity because there's always going to be stages of our lives where things are going at different paces. And if we have to always go, go, go and be productive, 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 you don't want to correlate rest with failure or rest with not being good enough or feeling bad. Because if rest makes you feel guilty, then there is this subconscious tie that you have made to your productivity and your worth and how active you are to determining your worth. Whereas we're human and historically we've had periods of rest. Back in the day, wintertime was for rest and are less active. And I understand that season transitions in life are really tough, especially in our 30s when there's so much change happening in every shape or form. And learned in this in-between place, not needing to be perfect and just taking action and just showing up. Whenever we allow ourselves to remove the pressure of performing a specific way to this certain expectation or outcome and instead just showing up and being present in the moment, life assists us. It's just having trust in life is the backbone of everything. Success and good fortune and happiness. Obviously, everyone has ups and downs and experiences life at the full spectrum, but the present moment is where we do our best work. And so one of my biggest lessons this past few months has been leaning into self-trust and removing that perfectionist tendency, trying to reduce that self-monitoring, constantly wondering, am I saying the right thing? This lens of criticizing. I think that's an episode of its own that I will carve out. But by being present to what life is showing us, we're able to respond from this present moment instead of a scripted place. Oh, like if this happens, then I'm going to do that. And sometimes what you thought you're going to do might need to be different in that present moment. No one really knows what life is going to present us. No one plans a layoff. No one really plans a relationship ending. People that are mourning or grieving a big life change or person that they love no longer being physically present. We don't expect it. And so can we sharpen or strengthen the muscle within us to meet life in its present moment without overthinking the past, without worrying or fearing the future? Can we lean into uncertainty? Because the unknown is the only thing that we can expect in the future. And so allowing yourself in this present moment to assess, what do I want to do next? Maybe it's a new path. Maybe it's going back to something I used to do that I really enjoyed, that was really good for me. I really felt I was thriving in that stage of my life. And removing the judgments and criticism of others without thinking or worrying, what will your friends think if you do X, Y, and Z? What will so-and-so say if you do something that you've been wanting to do? Just do what you want. Follow your nudges to bring joy into your life. Really, we shouldn't be in a place of waiting. We should be in a place of being, of just living and enjoying and making the most of the present moment and what it has to offer. Because sometimes an idea that comes to your mind to nudge you towards the next thing, and that moment might escape. So am I creating space and time to take action on these ideas and places that I want to be and go to? Even people that have a certainty of a job or have planned out their next few months, there's always things that happen outside of plan. Being able to meet the present moment without getting disappointed is one of the most vital skill sets we can develop. And so it's good to have this space of practicing how it feels to sit with uncertainty and just experience life without predicting it. And from that place, you can truly believe the best case scenario is unfolding for you. The best case job, the best case relationship, the best case move, city, and I'm ready for it. And maybe uncertainty is necessary. Maybe being in between isn't a failure. Maybe becoming who we are meant to be or living that life that's in our highest good requires uncertainty. And I'm going to close there. Just remember that you don't have to have all the answers. I don't have all the answers. None of us do. I would love to hear from you. Let me know if this resonates with you. I missed you guys. I have some other topics that keep coming to mind. Books I've read, quotes I've seen, and how life is changing so much. If you want to come along this journey with me and have these conversations, you can always reach me at the Lightside Podcast on Instagram or at Sholatare on Instagram. Love hearing from you.